Hello and welcome to the Lean on Agile show. I'm your host Shaheen, and today I'm going to talk about another situation that might happen during the workday. If you're working as a change agent, as a Scrum Master, as an Agile coach, as an enterprise coach, even a coach in an organization that you want to influence and get the people that you're working with to a better place, these are small snippets of what you can do in daily lives to make it better. Today, I want to focus on one issue, and that's, if you guys have heard of the stand-up, on the length of the stand-up. In Agile teams, or in any team, you might not call it an Agile team, there is something that is called a stand-up. Everyone get together at a certain point in time in the day. Typically, it's at the start of the day, but it might vary depending on the situation that you have. And typically, this stand-up is going to be short, 15 minutes or so. However, if you are working with a team that has a stand-up of more than 15 minutes, is it something bad? Is it something that you need to get rid of? Or is it something that you can live with? What are the things that you can do? How you should approach it? This is what we want to talk about today. So let's imagine working with a team. There are around 10 people on the team, and you have your stand-up or daily meeting. I differ from calling it a daily status meeting, but you might end up in a situation that you are working with a group that they have a daily status meeting, and you end up working with them. So what would you do in that situation? That's totally for a different conversation. Let's focus on the length of the meeting for now. You're working with a team. Their daily stand-up meeting goes beyond 15 minutes, goes beyond even 30 minutes. Is it okay to cut it and make it 15 minutes? Some of the advantages of cutting the 15 minutes is that if you do some quick calculation, so if you have 10 people let's make it easier, make it 8 people. If you have 8 people on the team and you have allocated 15 minutes for a stand-up, that 8 people multiplied by 15 minutes would be equivalent of one person spending 2 hours in a meeting. 2 man hour that is not quote unquote productive, because you are in a meeting. You are not working on anything to deliver or to work on the tasks that are assigned, or you pick them up. So 2 man hours. And imagine if this 15-minute meeting for 8 people goes to half an hour. You lost 4 man hours. If it goes to 45 minutes, you lost the whole day of productivity. One man day of productivity, man or woman day, person day of productivity. So what's the catch? What shall you do about this? Obviously, it's you want to decrease the amount of time, but at what pace? The moment that you joined, or you want to observe and see what this meeting is fulfilling. What's the job of this meeting? If this is the only meeting that you have with the team and there is not much else happening, if you decrease the amount of time and after this meeting people go to their own silos for the rest of the day, is it wise to decrease this meeting? If this is the meeting that the leadership joins and the leadership provide valuable insight and support even. Sometimes they join, they see something's not happening right, they take action, they go back and fix it for the team. Is that something that you want to decrease? And just follow blindly that the stand-up should be 15 minutes. If this is the meeting that you have dependent teams have representative in them, they are coming to that meeting and taking information, sharing information, focusing on roadblocks, focusing on challenges on hand, is that something you want to decrease? Obviously not. Obviously you don't want to decrease those things. The one thing that you want to decrease and then decrease the amount of time spent is the expected outcome of that meeting. So first you need to think about what outcomes that meeting is bringing. What's the job of that meeting? Is the job of that meeting to replace collaboration between team members? They don't collaborate throughout the day and that's the only place that they do collaborate and communicate? Is that meeting's job to resolve dependencies and focus on roadblocks and fixing them? Is that meeting responsibility and job is to find out opportunities to improve during the conversation? For example, when one member talks about something that they did and there is a leader or a dev lead or any type of senior person there that suggests something different and they say, yeah, I'll do that. Is that what this meeting is about? Is this meeting about having transparency with and to the leadership? So what that meeting's job is, if you figure out what that meeting job is, then tackle those jobs first. Tackle those jobs one by one. And then, naturally, the meeting time or your stand-up meeting time will decrease. So if you have, for example, the easiest one would be dependent teams. If you have member representatives from other teams attending your daily stand-up or daily meeting, they provide insight, they talk about things that is important to your team, which is valuable, but it takes time. So maybe it's a good idea to separate that call, even if the whole team, your whole team wants to be part of that call. Start with a separate call with a clear focus and clear goal of that meeting. This is a dependency management meeting. We are going to have team representatives from the teams that we are dependent on and they are dependent on us. We are going to talk about how we can navigate through this dependency map, and this will decrease the expected outcome of your daily stand-up or your daily meeting. Doing so, people might choose to which meeting they attend. And if they choose to attend one versus the other, that even shows why each meeting is more important and which outcome is more important for the team. And you can focus on that. who says that we need to have a daily stand-up all the time? If your team is gelling well, if your team is working well, if your team is communicating through offline and online channels, if they know what the whole team is working towards, what challenges the whole team has, like there is no need to get them to come to the daily stand-up. The daily stand-up is a very effective way to do all these things. But if your team does all of that, there is no major reason to come back to them. So in short, if you're looking at your daily stand-up, don't just go by, oh, it says that the daily stand-up should be 15 minutes or less. Think about what's behind that daily stand-up. Think about what you want to achieve from that meeting and address the outcomes, expected outcomes of that meeting. And you might have a daily meeting that is more than 15 minutes and is fit for your environment and fit for your purpose. Obviously, the more meeting time you take from your team members, the less they can work on actual work. You need to keep that into consideration. Let me know what you think. I hope this was useful for you guys, and I hope to see you on the next episodes.